split apart into individual parachutes, drifting on the wind. They fell in spidered rain, tipping and dodging, darting in the air current like minnows. The fortress gunners scribbled the sky with fire. Oh, you hit some, but it was like trying to prevent every drop of rain from touching the ground. Early in the siege, Legion Draconis had scorched a wide ring of land around the Roman fortress and brought all the residents from the surrounding region inside these stone walls. The burned fields around this place made it unattractive to the ravenous aliens. Despite all the beam fire from the high ramparts, the rain of Gorgons made landfall by the hundreds of thousands in the forested hills beyond the burn area. The fortress was an ancient-style structure made of local red stone. The buildings within its thick walls were roofed in terracotta. It was a historical recreation, never meant to serve as a real shelter in Anno Domini 2445. But when the invading aliens caused computerized systems to fail and made automated defenses turn on their makers, these primitive walls of stone became the place of last refuge. The monsters continued to fall in the surrounding hills. The legionaries fired beam cannons until the sky was empty and all was dead quiet on the blackened perimeter. Green birds came over the hills in a wheeling flock, alighted on the ramparts, chattering, their double wings flicking. Harius Asinius lowered his beam cannon from his shoulder, dropped into a crouch on his heels, let his head hang. His back ached. His soul ached. He had thought his legionaries were getting ahead of the monsters. Until this. A rain of Gorgons. How in the hell? Heard footsteps on the catwalk. The sound halted a few paces away from him. "Are you hurt, Domni?" Harius Asinius shook his bowed head and waved off whoever it was. The footsteps continued along the wall, paused once. The legionary fired a single shot over the wall, walked on. It was a sometime dream of Harius Asinius to be the one to stand between Rome and its most deadly peril. In his dream, however, he had all the resources he needed to win the desperate battle. Troops in the deep end, 2,000 parsecs away from here, on the far side of the abyss between galactic arms, those troops had weapons with which to combat these aliens. Legion Draconis did not. Legion Draconis was equipped to battle conventional enemies in near space with modern weapons. Harius Asinius had never been trained in, or armed for, combat against Gorgons. He felt set up, cheated, a naked slave thrown to the lions. And he could not run, take his legion, withdraw to his ship Horatius, and abandon the planet Thalia to the predators. It was un-Roman. It was unthinkable. Harius Asinius was going to die here. Sometimes certain death gave soldiers a weird sense of elation. Harius had seen that buoyant fire in the recordings of the last stand of the Roman 10th cohort of the Praetorian Guard at Corindalor, the famed 300. Their faces damn near glowed. Some of them laughed, and died to a man. The battle for the bridge at Corindalor had been a defeat that opened the way to planetary victory. A defeat like Thermopylae, Masada, the Alamo. A defeat that made the 10th immortal. Harius Asinius was not going down to immortality. His Dracs were just going to be eaten like 64 other legions before his. He stood up, stared at his own grave, this planet, Thalia. The enemy was here. Now. And if here on Thalia, they could be at the Roman capital Palatine within the year. It fell to him to stop them. It was too late for Harius Asinius to be careful what he wished for. A voice sounding from his wrist startled him. "Ave, Domini, vivas tu?" It was his ship's commander, his cousin Marcus. Lifting his wristcom to his mouth, too hurriedly, Harius hit himself in the brow with his beam cannon. Stinging, furious, he rasped into the comm in Latin. "Yes, I'm still alive, hang you. Where have you been?" "The Gorgons shut down the ship's systems," Marcus returned. "It's true what they say. With mobs of Gorgons clustered on the shields, they shut down almost everything. We had to dive..."